Well, there we go. Welcome back to KSL. We are halfway through today's games. I hope you guys enjoyed your over an hour break. We went and got some food.
Yep.
Some of you guys were tweeting at me what you were eating. So I hope you guys are enjoying or enjoyed your meal and are digesting and are now ready for the next match at TvZ.
Yeah. I tell you, that ZVZ definitely tired me out. It was less than 30 minutes of gameplay, but crazy fast. The rest of the night will be TvZ. Our break should be a little bit shorter in between the matches as well, because TvZ is a more medium-length match. And there are a couple very good matches that we're going to see.
Sure. Yeah, we're going to have FORGG going up against Zero here. Now, FORGG looked good, but Light was really on a totally other level in that matchup. But I wouldn't... You look at that ZVZ, I would not take anything from that as far as how we're going to judge this match. I think Zero still has a very good shot of winning.
Yeah, I would say so. I definitely consider Zero to be a higher level than FORGG.
Yeah.
That being said, the way FORGG plays, he can pick up wins sometimes unexpectedly.
FORGG is a very brainy player. He does a lot of research and preparation, and you'll see him make a lot of really smart moves when the game is actually going. But the problem is I think Zero is very much the same thing, but maybe a better version of that as a Zerg player right now.
Kind of, yeah.
You know?
I can't completely disagree with you there. I think that
you can't completely disagree with me there. Thanks, Artosis. Wow.
Tasis.
This is like when people
we're
go,
in one of my matches now.
You're not wrong. That's another one I love.
Yeah. I like that one's actually nicer than what I said. I can't completely disagree.
I can't completely and totally shut you down here.
Look at these map bans. This is really weird to see match point, the smallest map taken out by the Terran player, and then. But I understand it in a way because it's a very good map for Zerg rushes, but still it's kind of weird. I'll take it. But blockchain being taken out by Zero, I mean, blockchain is the map where you get free gases, so I
don't
find that
understand.
a bit surprising.
We were talking about this a little bit before we went live here, but yeah, what an odd choice.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, they ban what they don't want to play. So there you have it.
That's
Sometimes
how
you just have a map you don't like, even if other players like it. Like, for instance, I like to ban Fighting Spirit sometimes. And then every Protoss tells me, you know what? It's a great Terran map. I'm like, okay, you keep telling yourself that, Mr. 99% win rate. But yeah, anyways, I mean, we'll see how this match goes on the rest of the map pool. Like, the two craziest maps have been taken out. So it's pretty standard stuff. Now, Zero, I always think of him as a very good, good Mutalisk control, but also very smart.
Yeah, well, he knows how to get Zerg where Zerg needs to be to win a game.
Yeah.
So I'm actually I'm favoring Zero here a little bit. I don't know about you. Are you going with FORGG?
Well, I think that Zero should win, but again, FORGG can pick up a lot of wins in surprising ways. In fact, Eddie, I'm going to make a prediction. I think we're going to see a Vulture drop here, Tasis.
Oh, I could totally see FORGG doing something like that.
This is the type of map that he is likely to Vulture drop on, even though that's not really a part of the meta right now. Vulture drop is a little bit dated at the moment. Like a year ago, it was very strong. I think the timings are a bit sharper for Zerg now, but let's see. Let's see.
Okay, again, this is a best of 5. Remember, guys, the loser of this series is out of the KSL, so a lot of pressure on these two. After we finish this best of 5 series, depending on the length of the break, we will eventually go into our final best of 5. Let's go. Game 1 is ready. Okay, we have our Zerg player, Zero, here in the upper right, and in the bottom right is FORGG.
Yeah.
So let's see what kind of openers we're going to get this time around here.
You know, I want to give a little bit of an ode to FORGG.
Please.
because this guy, like, again, he grinds harder than everyone else. Like, we talk about action, how hard action practices a lot. Like, I know that he does practice a lot. I don't know who practices more, whether it's FORGG or action. But as far as Terran players, certainly it seems as if for actual pro gamers, FORGG is playing by far the most. And, you know, he's had his moment in the sun before. He was a very strong StarCraft 2 pro. He won a dream hack. You know, in StarCraft 1, he won an MSL, so that's like a gigantic deal. You know, since he's come back to StarCraft 1, he's worked so hard, and his stream isn't the most popular. You know, all these Korean pros, or most of the Korean pros actually, are streamers, right? And they stream a lot on Afrika. There's some on Twitch, like for instance, Zero streams on Twitch.
Yeah, we've seen the setup of StarCraft pros kind of change here. It used to be they were all in team houses, and they've all switched into streaming, but have certainly not atrophied in their skill. It's a very different from the past. Where we had you know, everything much more secretive. Things are much more now out in the open. Anyways,
That's
you were saying,
certainly
please.
true. Yeah, I just want to say, like, you know, FORGG, he's grinding really hard. He's trying really hard to be one of the best players again. Obviously, he's making it into these leagues, so it's working slowly but surely. It's such a brave thing because the game is so damn hard, and like, you know, he's not making a bunch of money, and these guys are smart guys. I mean, they can go get some sort of other job, but they are continuing, and
you don't make
just
it
kind
in
of for the
StarCraft
love of this game, and it's kind of a beautiful thing. When we saw it, just kind of hit me when we saw the map list and them sitting there. I'm like, yeah, I mean, Flash is rich from StarCraft, but most of these guys really are not.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know, and
very true.
A big cheers to our hardworking pros. That one of these guys will be knocked out here. But I mean, they are putting everything they got into this, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I really appreciate what you said there, because a lot of times people only talk about what is, you know, the biggest, right? I mean, you'll see this with, you know, basketball, for instance. You know, how much does LeBron James make? Well, he makes a lot, but there's a lot of other people in basketball who are doing this for the love of the game. You know, they have some decent contract, but it's not that much more than a normal job, basically. And, you know, some of these guys that are working really hard here in StarCraft 1 who are not the very, very highest level. Not that FORGG is not a good player, but, you know, he's definitely in the background compared to these other Terrans.
Absolutely.
He puts his heart into it. He puts his back into it. And he brings some great games.
Yeah. Right now, both players playing, well, especially FORGG kind of playing against his image. He's doing a Marine expand. A barracks expand, no gas or anything, so he's not going to do anything like a vulture draw.
Looks like we're probably going to have 2 hatch Muta here, by the way. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 hatch. I just noticed that hatchery above there.
Yeah, it's whereas with FORGG, I mean, it just looks like it's straight up bioplay. So I'm excited to see what that looks like from him, because I don't see that from him all that often. He is a much more techish player, like a player that's more likely to go mech, a player that's more likely to go for a, you know, just, why is my brain, like, I can't think of the name of the, what is it, when you go for a quick science vessel, like factory science vessel?
SK Terran?
No.
What do you mean go for a quick, 111?
Is that what it's called? Why is my...
Oh, no, Artos
like, I just got amnesia about that build order name.
I think we got a little bit of time to, to worry about that, because these Marines have actually pushed in here and are doing a decent amount of damage here. Now, Zero is going to be able to clean this up, but he got some good kills over there. Oh, barely saves that one drum.
Yeah, that was really, really good. And this is actually kind of a funny thing about Eddie. You don't have a great place to put your Overlord in some of these situations and actually scout in the wrong direction. But just chasing only the SCV and not sending a Ling out to the front, he didn't see these 4 Marines coming, so that was actually a huge amount of damage. That was awesome.
Does that hurt the Terran in any way because they don't have as many Marines later on, or does it really not matter?
Oh, you're happy to trade that. It changes your move-out times occasionally. Here it looks like it's probably a 5 racks plus 1. I've seen it. Yeah, it's a 5 racks plus 1 build. So it doesn't really change anything because you don't really get a solid move out before the mutas anyways.
Right.
Like, you get it right around the time they get to your base, and this won't be too much difference.
So these Lings are going to come in here and do a little scout, and what's most important is that he sees the engineering bay. Then he knows +1 attack is being upgraded, and Therefore, there's going to be, you know, a much stronger infantry force coming out early on in this game, even though it's going to be a little bit smaller. And we're going to have the 5 Raxes thrown down here. It looks like FORGG is setting up for that. Here we go.
Absolutely. I mean, a very strong build. This is exactly what you want to be doing as a bio player against the 3 Hatchery Mutalisk play. And, you know, I feel like it's pretty strong on the map, too. You're going to be fighting down ramps. Obviously, we're going to see FORGG try to keep that pressure on with his initial push out and just kind of reinforcing. I'm excited about this because this is stock standard both sides.
Yeah, we're gonna have a classic ZVT here. A lot of times we kind of have these offshoot games where someone's doing something crazy or one guy's all inning. But this time around, this is about as straight up a ZVT as you can ask for.
Yeah, it really is. And what does the power level look like from FORGG with this build, and what does the defensive level look like from Zero? You know, if like for instance, Sulky is the master of 3 hatch against this.
Oh yeah, he's so good.
He will eat you for trying this. Like even Light, who is top 2 in the world at this build with Flash, in my opinion. Like Sulky eats him when he does this.
Yeah, he just crushes
So
him.
that's kind of like the benchmark that we're looking at. So it's going to be fun to see how Zero deals with this.
Now FORGG is moving out.
Wow,
this is a little bit of a bold move here. I mean, when you think of 3 hatch, you know, Lings and Mutas can absolutely fight a small platoon of units here in the middle of the map for Terran.
Yeah, he's going to have to reinforce that pretty quickly here. The Mutas looking like they might dive into the main base.
Okay, Terran's moving back out. Is there actually enough defense here? You know, with this, you could basically 3-shot down turrets with these Mutas, and I don't see very much repairing going on here. So he's going to be able to take this out, and that means FORGG is going to have to stim and scramble to try to take out, you know, what's going on inside of his main. But instead, he's going to push forward here, and over here on this side of the map, I feel like Zero is also ready. He's got enough sunken colonies.
No, this looks very good for Zero, right? He's already done some damage in the main base, and he has enough sunkens. He would do this all day. Look at this. This is like, you know, really serious.
One thing to note, guys, is when you start, if you lose all your turrets in the main in the first swoop with the Mutas, it does seem like it's very difficult to ever get all those turrets set back up again. And very much so, it's Zero in control of this game.
Yeah, if you have a full group of Marines in there, you can certainly zone these out, but he doesn't. And he's like losing Marines. He just keeps walking around the center. Even the group he's walking around the center with isn't getting bigger. Yeah. So it's not like he can bust the sunkens, and it's not like he can stop Zero from killing his army.
And if he's out there for too long, Lings and Mutas are going to gobble up this army in the middle of the map too, and that's going to put FORGG even further behind.
Yeah, this is looking really rough for FORGG right now. I feel like he's not really playing the build all that well. Watch, he's about to lose this group of units. And then what do you do? Are you ever going to get back out on the map?
You're never going to be able to leave your base here. I mean, he's just getting crushed.
Yeah.
And, of course, here's the part of the game where Zerg starts to get another base. Lurkers are going to get incorporated into this. And Zero just has so much muscle on the map here. I think that FORGG really, this is a game of bad decisions, you know? A lot of what he was doing just didn't really make sense.
So the initial group walking out, like you kind of want to walk out and you kind of want to find the Mutas and have them chase your units around and then reinforce, and you're trying to play that game, but he didn't do the balance quite right. I think he actually walked out a little bit too quickly. And Zero was very smart to jump right on the turrets of the main, and he's taken control of the game ever since. A very masterful game so far from Zero. Like, if you cover up the nameplates and ask me if this is Sulky, I'd say, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're...
No, really.
I think it's a fair assessment. Well,
yeah. Sulky normally focuses a little bit heavier on the Marine Medic Ball, but, like, the play here strategically was basically perfect.
Yeah, I think Zero is definitely one of these Zergs that knows how to play the macro game. I mean, he can 2-hatch, but his 3-hatch play is very solid. Look at this. He's just trying to bait out a stim here whenever he can.
All right. Good one there from FORGG.
Now, FORGG is going to have to get some control of the map here because Lurkers, when they come out, if you get a good contain here, Terran's never going to get to leave, you know. The third base for Zerg is coming. Important to note that this is the classic location for Zerg to expand in these positions.
Yes.
It's physically as far away from the Terran as StarCraftly possible.
Mm-hmm.
We have the 2 science facilities done, but vessels are still a ways out. I believe are there lurkers that emerge with that army, right? Or am I making this up?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Like, his lurker upgrade should be done about now, so I'm sure he's getting a couple very shortly over his third. And he's going to want to just rush immediately into Hive because, like, I mean, if he has 3 lurkers at the left and 3 lurkers at the right, he's basically infinity safe.
Yeah, there's no way for you to muscle your way through that. Bear in mind that we have scans coming down now pretty often, which means there should be low energy at the scanners, which means that hold position lurkers is very strong. So I don't know where these are going to be positioned, but if he keeps scanning to try to monitor the Ling Muta, there's a chance that all the hard work that FORGG fought to try to get to this moment here could be lost in a matter of seconds here as the lurkers would obliterate the infantry army.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. And he's also scanning, half scanning, looking for the Marine or the Muta Ling, but also for the lurkers.
By the way, the Muta Ling looping around here to try to catch any reinforcements is another great play.
Knight is on the way.
And, you know, with the Defiler Mound coming here, once the first Dark Swarm is cast, we enter a whole new era. Not a whole new era, I should say, a whole new phase of the game. Because, oh, that's great play there, taking that out. Because then when Dark Swarm is a reality, and also I should say when Consume is done, because once the Defiler can eat Zerglings to get more energy, then it becomes a real existential threat to the Terran as far as how they can engage, and it gets a lot messier for the Terran.
Yeah.
But a classic TvZ, if they haven't killed each other, the Zerg will always lead the game into this moment.
It's absolutely the case, and Zero looks very, very strong right now. FORGG is taking his third base. This is tough, though, because you have to stay on SK Terran. You can't really switch to mech on this map. There's no way to really easily defend the other main bases with a mech-based army. So FORGG has to show us how strong his SK is. The map is really big. Zero is good in these situations. I am nervous for our Terran player.
Yeah, and Zero is not slowing down at all here. The Dark Swarm is about to become a reality. There's a very large army here. The Ling Muta comes in. He does get one of those Irradiates off on that Muta. Good splitting so far here by Zero.
Oh, the second Irradiate looked like it was awesome. We didn't really follow it, but I think he got a Muta in the middle of the flock.
Oh, Terran overstepping his boundaries here. Gets a lot of those infantry shot down. But I'll tell you what, Artosis, with Terran on a third base, if he can get that mining, he's going to be in pretty good shape. But I don't see FORGG breaking the Zerg anytime soon here. It just seems like both these guys are getting stronger and bigger and scarier, and we're going to go now into late game TvZ.
Yeah, his best chance, I feel like this game might be going mass dropship suddenly. You know, if you go 2, 4, 6 vessels, any point in there, you can kind of stop and just make 4 dropships and try to mix it up if you're behind.
Hold up. We have a little attack coming out here for Zerg. If he can slip over to that third with the 3 lurkers and the Defiler, he can force a lift, and that would be huge. And we're going to have that right now.
Yeah, that's a great move. He's kind of snuck it right around there. There isn't as much map control for FORGG as you're used to seeing with this build. So that is a big issue.
Nicely done.
Oh.
He even gets the Defiler in there. Oh! And here we go. The lift has happened, and FORGG is in a world of hurt right now.
Well, some Irradiates going off. Still has a few, so let's see. Maybe he can bust this 4th.
You know, so the game right now for the Terran is to try to irradiate the Defilers, because that's how you prevent the Dark Swarms from coming down. But the Zerg's job is to just continuously try to hit those science vessels with Scourge, drive them away while pumping out as many Defilers and consuming as many Lings as possible, because when the Dark Swarm's down, there really isn't a unit the Terran could fight with in the Dark Swarm. And in case you're wondering, can Firebats do it? Yeah, kind of, sort of, but not against Lurkers.
Yeah, you have to have like a lot of Firebats against not that many Lurkers to make that work out.
Even one Firebat alone against Zerglings is actually not as good as one would think it would be.
Yeah, they'll get their surface area and knock them out. But, you know, occasionally there's situations where you can add in Firebats, but they are not free on gas. You know, gas is at a premium. So this is a real issue. He needs to bust something, because Zerg on 4 base right now That's not a situation that I think FORGG is going to be able to get through.
By the way, we saw the vessels get plagued here. Sometimes we'll see players make 1 or 2 mutas and try to dive in on top of that because the glaives can take out so many of the vessels.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him, you know, chuck in a couple mutas there to try to pick off as many as possible.
Now, Terran's pretty effectively boxed in the Zerg here, and now we have the bottom left main being taken here, which is going to become very problematic.
Well, the 4 bases is very important for Terran, but okay, he's going into battle cruisers, so at least he's giving himself some other tools here to try to use. But he needs to get a bunch of damage done really, really, really soon, because this is where Zero is going to start to get out of control. I'm sure he has a couple evolution chambers up right now. I'm sure he's going right into his Ultralisk tech. And what we should be seeing from him from here on out, really, is just like plagues everywhere, trying to pick off vessels and going up into ultras.
Oh my god, there we go. The Muta's hitting those vessels, really hurting the Terran here, and great plague as well. Zero fighting back on the map, looking very scary. Now, oh my god, another great plague. He's so good at this.
Yeah, great plagues. And the amount of vessels he's picked off, suddenly it's like, yeah, battle cruisers are great, but if you're losing all your vessels while making the expensive and slow building battle cruisers,
yeah,
you are going to get really punished for that.
Yeah, he actually is going to have to go back into making vessels, because the Ultralisks are going to be too strong if you can't dematrix and or irradiate in those fights, in those skirmishes.
Yeah, this is a very tough situation.
We just had a moment where it was highlighted why the battle cruisers are a headache for the Zerg. They can one-shot Scourge.
Yeah, they one-shot Scourge and they two-shot drones.
Yeah.
So it's actually a very good harassment unit, which is such a weird thing to think about. The Ultra's coming down. That 4th base going to be in some trouble.
Yeah, and I don't see any easy way for Terran to get down there and save that. All you need is 1 Ultra, even just a few Lings. Hold on, though. A big attack over here. He gets a surround on these Lurkers, but right now the Lings are taking some of the damage. Zero's screen clearly elsewhere now. Oh my god, 2 HP.
Yeah.
Couldn't be more last second.
Wow. Plague goes down, actually hits the Ultra. Thank you, Defiler. Looks like some siege tanks being produced at this point. The Ultra broke through everything.
It's got 12 HP.
Yeah, all those SCVs together aren't going to be able to take that thing out.
Wow, so it's Terran back to 3 bases. No easy place to expand over here. And now FORGG is in a much worse position. Had this base in the bottom left not been touched, if he was able to keep mining from that and soaking up more resources, we would be in a very different game. But right now, I think that Zero is on the cusp of really seizing total control of this game.
You're definitely right about that. You aren't completely off base.
Yeah, I wouldn't completely and totally disagree with you there, Tasteless.
I wouldn't call you a dummy dum-dum for saying what you just said. Look at that guy, 18 kills right now, 21 health.
Okay, a lot of these Marines have been plagued, and, you know, Plague is just among the most profoundly powerful spells in all of StarCraft. I mean,
yeah.
In StarCraft, one of the funny things about the game is everything looks kind of sort of broken.
Those BCs are still alive? Are those new BCs?
I think they're new. I think those are 2 more that were made. Am I wrong?
Well, one has 1 kill, so yeah. I think you're
unless
right.
the other guy is the actual murderer.
Yeah. 9 kills?
9 kills. Oh, maybe it is the same ones.
Yeah, not sure, but anyways, the BC is doing some serious work, that's for sure.
What's funny is I think this BC is still going to live through this for a little bit longer.
It is. But now, FORGG losing a base.
The Natural's actually been mined out, by the way. So there's 1 resource location in which the Zerg is still getting minerals, and actually that's just been denied. So Terran needs to either get his 3rd base up immediately or win this game, because Zerg is very, very, very close to closing this out.
Well, brings up some siege tanks. Unfortunately, he's lost so many vessels. If you think about the amount of vessels we've seen go down, we've seen at least like 8 vessels die.
Yeah.
Imagine if he had 8 vessels with that army right now. I could see him, you know, with this many siege tanks added in, a good amount of well-upgraded bio and 8 vessels. That would be, yeah, I could see a victory still. Right now, though, I feel like Zero can whittle him down.
I think the thing is Zero can still buy time. As long as he can get rid of this big army that's over here, just a few plagues over here, a few dark swarms, if he can muster the army, he could certainly pull off a win here.
Yeah. The plagues are going to be the real issue. You just can't really stop defilers quickly enough. The siege tanks can kind of do it, but they're going to get their spells off a lot of the time.
But that being said, oh, great play here with these Lings coming behind and hitting these tanks. And FORGG only just now realizing, trying to pull these away, but he was going into a Dark Swarm there. But FORGG, is he going to be able to take this? Oh, man, that's a lot of ultras, though.
It is, but if you block that ramp with medics...
Hold on. Lurkers are a good unit to have in Dark Swarm, Artosis. It looks like Zero is probably going to win this game.
This has been actually... I feel like I've learned a lot from FORGG in this game.
Yeah? What's your takeaway?
I think that those siege tanks were really surprisingly strong at the end there. No one really does that with SK Terran.
Yeah, normally the siege tanks have a phase, and then you got to push them out because a vessel is so good.
Sometimes people will go like massing siege tanks in the late game with the SK Terran, but in this game he just added 2 factories, then moved out with like 6 of them with his Bioforce, and that was really good. Again, if he had all the vessels still, I think he busts the natural over there, and I think he might bust the main as well, and then it's anybody's game, you know?
Yeah, I love him.
In fact, look at this. He's just killed the 4th base. Like, the game in a lot of ways looked weird, and under normal circumstances, I would say that the Terran should have lost this no matter what, but FORGG has actually done some really impressive stuff.
He's still barely in this game. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But he's going to bro these lurkers down here. This is a lot of worker kills. Oh, man, this is really painful to see.
Losing so much of his mine. He does have that mineral base, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
This has turned into a relatively close game, though.
Yeah, things are getting pretty scrappy over here. Now, he's forced to lift. Can he do anything about this bottom center base? Again, as you were saying, it's mineral only. The problem, though, is that when you see a Zerg ahead in supply, and these guys are both in the low hundreds, that means Zerg actually has a much stronger army, generally speaking.
Yes, you're quite right, but it's getting low econ enough and the supplies are low enough. I would love to see mine and speed upgrades coming out of these factories.
Sure, get some vultures out there.
I feel like vultures here, both for harassment, clearing Lings, laying mines, could be a really strong move.
I think he might have enough, though. I think when these Lings and Ultras come down, this 3rd being denied, this is the last bastion of hope here for the Terran, and there's just nothing over here. There's 1 Marine, like some kind of lame mall security guard here. No authority with that Marine.
No. Bunch of ultras coming in.
Oh my God, I think that was the last of the vessels here. Dark Swarm continues to come laying down, just giving so much cover. A great plague on those Marines.
It actually hits 2 of those ultras, so
yeah,
gonna help with the damage on those, but so
what will
few
you do
units
now,
left over.
SCVs? Dark Swarming the SCVs is something else there.
You know, I've always said if SCVs had a melee attack, I'd be an OSL champion. They don't help under there at all. Okay, well, it seems like FORGG just doesn't have anything left over here. His income is not moving. And as the Dark Storms go up into the natural, there's just not much left.
Yeah, and we've seen FORGG slowly get cornered here, but I'll tell you what, he had a really, really good showing this time around. And Zero really put up quite a good fight, man. You can see why he's such a good 3-hatch player.
I tell you, this was such an interesting game, because I think Zero was playing really well. Like, really well, and it felt like it was going to be a stomp. And some things went wrong for FORGG. He lost an early group, so he didn't really have map control. This allowed Zero to hit an attack on the 3rd base early on with those lurkers and defilers. Normally that attack won't be able to hit because the 5-Rax player has map control for quite some time.
Yeah.
And you have to push them back very slowly. But losing the early units took that away from FORGG. He then got out a good amount of vessels and lost 6 to 8 of them, but his BCs did pretty well. And then that siege tank follow-up was really surprisingly strong. I think that...
I think if he had the vessels there, because the thing is, the nature of the way that game went, he was forced into getting a lot of sunken colonies, and when you end up getting a lot of sunken colonies early on because you're afraid of pushes, a lot of times you end up unintentionally relying on that to not get your natural busted, but siege tanks don't care about Dark Swarm with sunken colonies.
No, certainly
the siege
not.
tanks can still obliterate that area, and he was actually able to crack in there pretty fast. I mean, there was a moment where it looked like FORGG might just, almost like when the X-Wings blew up the Death Star Artosis, like he just barely got in there and hit the exact point that he needed to hit to kill Zero and get out. That almost happened.
Yeah.
But Zero, just a little bit too good. Game 2 will be on Neo Sylphid, by the way.
Okay, very cool. Interested to see what FORGG will do. I don't think we'll see bioplay from him again, but I'm pleasantly surprised with how strong his late game SK Terran was.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's actually, in a lot of ways, much harder in the late game than the mistakes he made early on. Those are like very easily fixable. You're like,
yeah,
oh yeah, I should have waited for more Marines to move out there or something, you know.
Right.
Whereas his late game was so strong. But anyways, Neo Sylphid, I think it's a good map for the Goliath build that we talk about quite a bit, the 1-1-1.
Let's see if FORGG does that. I expect him to, actually. But you never know. It is actually time to go into our game. Let's go. FORGG at 12 o'clock here, top and center. Over here in the bottom left, it's going to be 0. 0 right now with that lead. Let's see if FORGG can turn this around. You were mentioning earlier, Artosis, that it's totally possible to go for the Goliath build, expand into Goliath, mass up, and then go into a push here. This has been a pretty trendy build, especially in the middle of 2019. We've seen it really explode. But a lot of times when you see trendy builds like that, you know they're going to get phased out eventually.
Yes, yes, and it's already started. You don't see the Goliath build as much. It was like the only build for a little bit, and then, you know, obviously it starts to go downhill from there. Yeah, I could see FORGG doing a multitude of different builds on this map. And I'm used to him playing kind of a sneaky, cheesy TvZ, but that was such a straightforward way he played that last game.
I think it's also harder. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'm excited because he showed somewhat robust macro TvZ there.
Yeah. It is, I think, a little bit harder now for Terrans to steal a win from the Zerg now. You know what I'm saying? Terrans had a long history of, I guess it started with Slayer's Boxer and Bunker Rushes, but these cheesy builds that would knock the Zerg out of the game before the Zerg was able to do what they wanted to do. But it seems like we're in a different era here now, you know, one of macro builds and tech builds, and it's a very complex matchup for where we've ended up.
It's jumped so far forward since basically, let's call it the release of Remastered. It's changed so drastically. Like for a little bit, the 5 racks +1, like top level pro games were like coming down to, can Zerg even take a third?
Yeah.
Nowadays it's like, well, of course Zerg can take a third. You almost never see it denied. Like it can get slowed for sure. That's a good play.
Yeah.
But it's not really getting denied straight up anymore. So definitely Zergs have become much more robust against pretty much all the builds.
Okay, so the drone scout finds where the Terran is. Is that a good spot for that pool, by the way? Does that look kind of weird to you?
Yeah, it fixes the top mineral patch.
Oh, I see. Does it actually curve there too much?
Yeah. It's it makes the mining slightly better on the top.
Is everybody now supposed to still have like a depot or a pylon or some Zerg building?
Watch the top patch.
To the left of to the left of the gas.
No one does.
No one's supposed to do that anymore. It has no place. So you're just supposed to make a mine straight.
It's well, you can just look at a gas and see if things are mining perfectly or not. And most of the geysers on most maps mine perfectly, but there are ones, like for instance, Fighting Spirit has a couple geysers where you need a 4th worker on it to actually make it mine correctly.
Yeah, those are the naturals, right?
Yeah.
Like the upper right natural, I think.
Upper left natural and bottom left natural both need 4 workers for optimal gas. So this is another bio build coming out of FORGG. It's a 2-hatch play from 0. Let's see if FORGG goes for the 2 racks play, which is exactly expected.
By the way, it was a pretty tumultuous start there for FORGG in the last game. He kind of outpositioned himself, if you will. But this is a 2-hatch play, like you were saying here, from the Zerg, so it's a very different approach to the matchup and the opening here for Terran.
Yeah, and it's going to be cool to see how FORGG wants to play against the 2-hatch, because you have to play completely different. Like, the build he did last game was about getting a lot of bio on the map with a quick upgrade to trade favorably against mutas and lings and force units instead of drones, that type of thing. Whereas this is going to be, yeah, you're going to want to try to pressure some, but also just getting them out, your good amount of Marine Medic early is to kind of stay alive. You know, a lot of these 2-hatch plays get very, very aggressive.
So we're going to have a little bit of passivity here from the Terran. Zerg is going to be setting up to do a Muta Rush here. We also have the drone coming out on the map. As the Muta Rush is going to come out, we'll have the Zerg also acquire a third base, and that's being taken actually pretty early here.
Yeah, this is pretty common right now. They can't quite hit it. Like, you can't quite get there and kill it because they'll have the 6 mutas out plus whatever speedlings they have. And if you lose that first Marine Medic force, I mean, that's...
it's terrible.
You're really on thin ice because with this build anyways, you're only going to go up to a maximum of 4 barracks in the early game. And most of the time, you're actually on 3.
And so every Marine that you have is very important. You want to make sure that you actually get a sizable enough army that you can start to push. And there's those 2 other barracks that Artosis was mentioning. Get ready to see Zero's minerals and gas drop to 0 as 6 mutas will be starting here.
Oh, okay. Just started the eBay underneath his gas. I was going to say, that's actually very late, so he has to move out with this force.
Yeah.
Because he needs the mutas to chase it because he won't have turrets up in time. Against 2-hatch play where you get a very quick layer, which is what we're seeing from Zero, you need to start that engineering bay before 5 minutes. Yeah, see?
So that eBay is close to being finished here. The army's moving out. Now, this is these unit sets on both sides, either one can win. We don't have the mutas there yet.
Whoa!
Whoa. He got 6 racks.
Yeah. So this is a different build. Actually, I think mine did this in the KSL qualifiers. This is like a brand new thing I've only seen a couple times.
So the micro tricks we're going to see here is Terran tries to stim and attack into the mutas. The mutas want to wait for the Marines when they're actually running away. But again, another big victory here for Zero. He takes this out, and that means that these medics are also going to go down as well. Great control, by the way, pulling away the injured Mutalisk. You absolutely want to make sure you do not lose the mutas. The Zerglings are expendable. The mutas are not.
Yeah. Well, he kind of had to spend those because, look, he's got like 1 turret done. He's making a few others. So he needs to buy some time, I guess.
Yeah.
But, that was a lot of units to just kind of, what did they bought him some time. They killed a few lings. Hurt a muta or 2.
So the mutas are out. Now Terran is staying back at home. Nice scan. Sometimes you'll be able to see the mutas over there.
Yeah.
And just stim them down.
Muta's coming in to harass this natural.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Doesn't lose any just yet. Now with the 6 racks, this is serious muscle on the map.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
It's funny because sometimes in a TvZ...
Well, if you don't get supply blocked, it's serious muscle.
Oh, yeah. He needs to actually get that depot finished, like, now. You actually really can't do that if you're doing this build. It's so important that you're producing constantly.
Yeah. Really needs to be building a couple depots at a time right now. So, I mean, he is getting a lot of Marine Medic out right now, and you see that Zero is taking it very seriously. He's not diving into the main or anything like we saw on the previous map. He is dogging this army. He's picking off anything he can right now.
Okay, here come those 4 Marines.
This is a great move. Look at this, taking out so many drones.
He's going to get every drone.
Oh, man, that was so good.
Beautifully done. And this was probably the biggest play of this entire game so far, was the 4 Marines that slipped through. You could see that Zero was so caught up in trying to just deal with this big army that a small squad of 4 Marines killed all the workers at the very important 3rd base.
Yeah, a lot of mutas still coming out, so he's not going to die to this attack, but those Marines really did their damage.
Yeah. And Zero is completely and totally going for all mass air.
Yeah.
He got rid of the Marines down there at the bottom, right?
Yeah, he did. He cleared those 4 Marines.
So we're going to go into, I think it's going to be Guardians.
I think Guardians would be a pretty good choice.
Yeah.
I could see him also deciding if he has an evolution
Whoa,
chamber.
what are you doing?
Yeah, he just wants to make sure he gets everything. He does have that carapace upgrade as our observer highlighted as well.
Flames are good.
If you can get into ultras in this situation, you just straight win because there's no higher tech. You can't get a +2 attack upgrade. So that's I've seen this build countered with that before.
Okay.
Like, it's actually easier to get into Wraiths than it is to get into +2 attack.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think he is going for Guardians. I think you're right about that.
Yeah. Well, I think if he gets a good morph, what does he want to do? Does he want to morph just outside the main and try to just pummel that? I mean, Terran is constantly trading army in here, but once you get enough Guardians...
Yeah, it's a good question.
Maybe if he wants to get over
the main, you have to go all the way in, so he could technically hit you with Marines. But if you go behind the natural, that's really far away, and your Guardians are not useful in defense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not actually sure where you would want to go with that.
Oh, good save here by having those Lings hatch.
I guess it matters how much map control you have.
Okay, so Zerg is going to try to end this very definitively in just a little bit here. More scans coming down. He's trying to monitor the movement here. Where are these Guardians going to morph? Terran is looking. Terran probably knows this is coming. You don't ever have this many mutas and think it's a normal game.
No. You're right about that.
You never see like 2 control groups of mutas and you go, yes, that's exactly what they do. Right?
No, it's either a mute all in or it's a Guardian rush. Can only be one of those two.
Yeah.
Look how many mutas he has. He's got almost 2 groups.
Oh my god. Gotta be careful. That's so many Marines. Okay, so the Greater Spire's moments away from finishing. I feel like this is the longest I've ever seen a Greater Spire take Artosis.
I know. Well, it feels
why
that
is
way.
it different than all the other Greater Spire timings? I mean, no one knows why.
It's because we're expecting it and we know he needs it here.
Oh my god. The glaives on that were real, man.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a pretty scary amount of Medic Marine. When you get to about 2 to 2.5 control groups of Medic Marine, a lot of stuff dies.
Yeah, you hit that critical mass where Zerglings are really
Zerglings
not
don't do as
trading
much
at all. They're not really doing anything. Look how many Overlords he's finding as well.
Yeah, there's some bad rally going on
There's
here.
Guardians morphing somewhere.
Somewhere.
I just saw the gas
somehow. Oh my god, he's so
That
close.
is a lot.
My heart. My tender little heart, Artosis, I can't take it. He could have just gone right underneath that and killed it. But wait a minute, is this Bio Ball just going to come in here and crush Face?
There is a possibility of that.
Is Face going to get
Okay, he
crushed?
doesn't even make a sunken because it doesn't matter. Sunken would do 0.
Did someone say Face crush? Crush Face?
I said it, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just checking. Wait a minute. Oh, the counterattack is sick. You know what you could do, actually? You could make your hatchery inside their main. Oh,
That's
cool.
crazy talk. Yeah, I guess maybe mass sunken the third base on the high ground. This is a crazy game, though. You can't clear the Guardians, right? There's just no way. You need Wraiths.
Well, I guess in theory, if you got just right underneath that, you could take them out. Are those Sunkens morphing?
Oh,
Because he's
did he
about
lose
to lose
his
the
spawning
pool.
pool?
Well, he's about to. We're getting shot of everything in the entire world except the one base that Zerg needs to defend here. And there's no SCVs on the map, right?
I feel like you send your Guardians to the south right now. Yeah, even if there were, I mean, 1,000 minerals, you're never going to rebuild anything.
Yeah, the thing is, I think you're right. He needs to send the Guardians right now, because otherwise the Terran...
The mutas can stay on top of the Raxes, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas he doesn't have any buildings out there. There is some small possibility that FORGG can...
Yeah, I think FORGG might actually win.
Oh my God.
Handsome boy.
I can't believe you called
handsome
that.
Handsome boy.
Only
Here's the
you
funny thing.
are bad
Artosis,
enough to think about that.
Artosis, looking in my eyes. I have some news for you.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any... Oh, he has 50 minerals. He can make a drone there. Never mind. I was going to say all the drones were actually back here, and he has like 3 minerals, so...
I can't believe you're like, he can build his hatchery in the main, and then he does it.
I know. Well, Artosis, this is why I make the big bucks.
Okay, so he clears this. FORGG might... Well, I guess he knows about the hatchery, right?
Huh? Oh, he just needs to get the CC. That's the most important thing.
Well, even killing the depots, you can never make an SCV.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Because your army is always going to be...
He can go kill all of his infantry and then lose to the mutas, but he'll be able to make an SCV.
Look at where he's placing these Guardians. That is more unbreakable than Bruce Willis.
Oh, yeah. And right now, I'll tell you what, his opponent is Mr. Glass. They call me Mr. Glass because I break like glass.
It's a sick name.
Yeah, this is it, right? Oh, it's in the red. Oh, call the fire department.
He can't make SCVs. This is so
Get
funny.
911. He can't make a fire truck to put this out. Wow,
Well,
what a game. What a really
yeah.
special game this was.
And
It is.
again, I'm feeling for FORGG because I feel like he's actually putting out some really excellent games tonight, and nothing's really going his way.
Okay,
You know, Zero's
okay,
going to be
FORGG.
2-0, but that doesn't really tell the story of how wild these games have been.
FORGG. Let's go. This is the final attack. Come on, FORGG. Oh, nice. Even sniping a medic. He's so good. Zero's so good.
It's pretty all right.
I want to sit at the lunch table with Zero and his friends.
You could never do that. You're not cool
I
enough.
know.
You have to sit with me.
I got to sit with Artosis. Him and me alone at the lunch table.
Yeah.
This is the adult version of our lives.
And then when the cool kids walk by, I'm mean to you
Yeah.
because I think that
Yeah.
might get me to be
You're
their
like,
friends.
isn't Tasus dumb and ugly? And then you try to high five him. And then like that. Your gaspy giggle. So this is just probably not going to work, but let's go and watch it.
100%
Let's
not
watch
gonna
it. Let's watch it not work.
Well, we're definitely going to watch it not work.
Can I point out, I really do enjoy the sound effect of the Guardian, whatever that is, a beach ball, I think is what it fires, connecting with the target. G, wait for it, G.
Yeah, and it's smart for FORGG to have stayed in this game, and even that run pass made some sense. Like, if there was, like, one drone and he could get it, and then suddenly, yeah, I don't know, flying buildings, Guardians don't shoot up, I don't know. But, oh, wow, what a game.
Wow, wow,
What a game.
wow, wow, wow.
Good quality hold from Zero. That's such a strange build to win that 6 racks play. Actually, someone did that at Corrupted Cup as well. I think Terra did that against True Touch or something like that. But yeah, it's like so unbelievably all in.
I don't think FORGG is going to make it, Artosis. I think your
certainly
boy's
does not
weak.
look like it.
Looks like my boy Zero might be taking this. We're going to be right back, guys. Don't go away. Game 3 is just around the corner.
I don't know if everyone saw the commercial we just saw, but we were watching that Overwatch commercial.
Does the Overwatch? Someone tweeted us. Is that Overwatch commercial that plays? Because we see an Overwatch commercial on the break. Are they speaking Korean or English in that commercial? We got to know.
Yeah.
'Cause we saw that
We see it
trailer
in
already
Korean.
once at BlizzCon, but we just watched it in Korean. And
Quick question.
Yes.
The biggest apes in the world, there are humans that are bigger than them, right?
the biggest apes in the world?
Yeah. There are, like, for instance, like the biggest guy in the NBA is probably
Like-
bigger than the biggest ape, like, right?
Well,
not in weight, but
it
like,
depends on. Yeah, I was going to say it depends on what you're qualifying as
because
big.
the guy with the like hammer that's made out of like iPhones or whatever, like, he was like bigger than the ape.
Yeah, he was pretty big.
So I was like, okay,
is that a robot?
that could
though?
be, but at the same time, from listening to the Joe Rogan Experience, I understand that this ape could still rip his arms off if he wanted to, you know?
Yeah.
So why would anyone ever not choose the ape?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah.
That'd be my default.
iPhone hammer has nothing on ape.
What was up with that blonde girl? I don't think she's really in the game. I was telling Artosis, I think one of those characters isn't actually in the game, man. I haven't played that much Overwatch, though, so I don't know. But I'll tell you what I do know.
Yeah.
Circuit Breakers is map number 3.
I tell you what I do know. Overwatch is map number 3? Do you know that, Tasteless?
I'm not sure. Okay. We have Zerg. Sorry, Zero. He is Zerg in the bottom right. In the upper left, we have FORGG, our Terran player.
tell you what I do know. Is it this?
Is it this?
My God. Okay.
Oh, my eyes. I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. Okay, Zero. Let's see if you can close this out. Or if old FORGG game is going to win this one.
Yeah. I think I want FORGG to win some games.
FORGG?
Yeah.
Yeah.
FORGG, the Terran player FORGG.
Did you have any IDs when you were growing up? Because this is a funny thing that happens when you're playing games. Because we're old guys, so we were doing this long before there was Twitch or anything else like that. Any English VODs. Nobody was casting to us in English. Did you have a player's ID that you would read, and then you would eventually meet them and discover they don't say the ID the way you said it in your head?
Never, ever happened.
Yeah, me neither.
Not even one time.
It's never happened to me either. I was just saying, I was trying to trick you in front of everybody and see if you were dumb, but well done. Well played. Looks like you got out of that one. Yeah. Nicely done.
No problem.
Yeah.
Did you ever unironically use any IDs that were like, you look back and you're like, whoa, that ID was no good?
Wow, when I was 17, I thought that was cool, and it was not.
Yeah.
Not really.
Oh, okay, me either.
But I remember I went to this.
I like that we keep cool.
I know. We try to expose a little bit of ourselves and see if we could be vulnerable, and then we're like, "Oh yeah, no, I don't know."
No, that would never happen.
Yeah. No, I've never cried either.
Do you love anybody? No,
I don't.
I've never loved anyone. I don't need love.
Oh my God.
That's the
it's like when you're young enough as a guy. Yeah, I've never cried. I've never loved anything.
No, I don't need love. Like, love is stupid.
Artest, much enough you died, I wouldn't care at all, okay? That's what young guys do, too. They're just, like, trying so hard to be like, yeah, no, I don't feel.
Yeah.
Do you feel? I don't feel. I want to point out that, like every other shooting we've gone to, about 60% of the audience here who's not listening to the stream thinks we're morons.
Yeah.
We've basically been ruining the StarCraft experience in Korea for some time now. For anybody who's not actually listening to this channel, they're like, yeah, the games are great, but these two white guys in the corner of the studio, they keep laughing in early game. What are they talking about?
It's true.
Oh, those are
you guys should see how
those
many
are the special needs casters. Their headphones aren't even plugged in. They're just.
So many people in the studio will turn around and just look at us.
Yeah, look at us. What are they doing?
What is going on? Why are?
Okay.
Oh.
So we got a 3-hatch play here into layer, and FORGG is again going to go for a quick command center. He just keeps doing it. Getting the eBay again this time around here. The SUV is going to scout it.
So 5x +1 is what you said is the build?
No, that's not what I said. Oh, no, is it +1?
Well, if you
said
you saw on
+1.
eBay, then
if you see an eBay, is it always 5 racks?
Yes, if you see the eBay after 1 barracks, it is always 5 racks +1. Every single time.
Way to go, Artosis. Show off. You got... What else do you know, Artosis? Well, Tasteless, like, they always get stimmed before range.
That's what else I know, Tasteless. God. The score is 0-2? I'm Ron Burgundy. Tasteless is literally the Ron Burgundy of esports.
I am. Actually, I think I probably am the Ron Burgundy of esports. I will take that. I will totally take that title. Well, I hope FORGG does a better job this time around, because right now, Zero is just looking too strong.
Yeah. Ooh. So, we just wait a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the most annoying thing in the world. That right there.
What? When Lings get back there?
Now, every game at the exact same moment, Lings run into your mineral line to attack SCVs.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I knew about this for like a year and a half before I could stop it from killing any SCVs. Every time I'd just be like, oh, you and every other Zerg! And I'd lose like one SCV. I don't lose them anymore, Tasos. I've leveled up to the point where I can pull an SCV back at the right time. Oh. Okay, so the 5 racks are all on the way. Obviously, we'll be getting some mutas out pretty quick. These, in my opinion, I think that these are actually the best positions possible for FORGG in these builds.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, the third base, I guess the tricky part is, like, where you spend your scans, you have to guess where the third is, and there's a better place for a third and a worse place for a third. Like, in my opinion, you should take the third at the bottom left. It gives you 2 paths to get over to your third, through the bottom and through the center of the map. And also, the easy-to-take third base, that mineral base that Terran has, they kind of defend it if they're attacking top right.
Is there, out of these two, because obviously Zerg wants to take a main, in this case it's the upper right, is there one that's actually better than the other when you're cross-spawns, or is there literally on this map it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter hugely, but like I was just mentioning, I think bottom left is slightly better. But I think that it's probably smarter to vary it than to always take the same one. Because you don't, like, if they don't have a scan and they go in the wrong direction, the pressure's over. They can't get there in time, you know? You have to really hit everything exactly. All right, let's see. Keeping track of the depots here. See if he gets supply block. Block better finish. 68 to 68. Going on 10 seconds. Okay. It's not that bad of a block. Because he's got to get over here. Going over the bridges can be scary, but he's got a lot of Marine Medic. Look at that!
Yeah, now he's going to be able to come out on the map, and, you know, as Zertosis was saying earlier, it's very hard for the Zerg to keep that third base up, and this is basically, it's a roaming build. I mean, you're trying to come out here and look for a fight.
Yeah, and normally what happens here, like, if you start to move towards their third, they have to decide to either chase you down and attack you or to counterattack. But the counterattack options are a little bit difficult because you're pumping from 5 racks at a time. So as long as you aren't missing depots, you actually are getting a hell of a lot of Marines at home to defend.
So the lurkers, oh, they're not lurkers yet. The Hydras are going to be in the upper right here. And if they get the eggs on the ramp, the 5 racks cannot get up there. But there is counterplay here for FORGG where he could also just try to attack the natural. And sometimes this is how you kill a Zerg, is they're so caught up in defending the third base, the third base, that they've basically neglected having adequate defense of the natural, and so they can lose the natural as well as the main, and of course just lose the game.
Yeah, I think attacking Sunkens though is one of the worst things you can do. And to be honest, like, the point of this build is denying thirds, and he had an opportunity. He was way closer to the third base than the Hydra, so if he had actually gone towards it, he could have canceled it. But now we have him fighting over bridges, and he's going to attack Sunkens when all the army except 3 Hydras is here. So I feel like FORGG has made some errors here, some crucial errors, and
and you know what they say, Artos?
Maybe he'll break it, but I don't think he quite will.
Bridges get stitches. Sorry, I'm so sorry. He's going to try to come in here and bust him now. There's a lot of sunks here, a lot of damage being done. Has he done enough to where the mutas can clean this off, targeting down that last sunk? And he actually holds and does not kill that last sunk of colony. Beautiful play here by Zero.
You know, well, it's a critical error what he's done here. He tried to bust Sunkens when the mutas were there. Like, this is, you have no idea how many times I've been lectured by Nyokin when I've done that. You have no idea. It's just like, I'm like, I can't believe I lost the game. He's like, why did you trade your army for 4 Sunkens? Like, why would you do that? Yeah. It makes no sense. Well, he has no map control now.
There is this thing with Terran, though, where it seems like you get to a point where you're far out enough, it feels like it's almost more worth it to attack in than to try to get all the way back home because it's so hard to deal with the mutas, you know?
Yeah. I feel like FORGG is playing well overall tonight. I think mechanically he's showing a higher level than what I've seen lately from him, or seen the last year or so from him. You know, I think he's bringing some good builds and some good preparation. But this is a build to deny thirds, and he didn't do that. He walked cross-map and tried to bust Sunkens while the mutas were there. And it's not like the mutas were hidden. They were dogging him the entire time. He walked over double bridges twice. Like, what? Ugh, it's just, I feel like FORGG is playing against both FORGG and Zero right now.
Yeah, he's made some questionable moves here. He's a good player, but he's not playing anywhere near close to a perfect game, especially in the decision-making. In a decision tree, he seems to be picking a lot of times literally the weakest option.
He'd be at 120 supply right now if he hadn't done that, you know? He didn't even kill any of Sulky's Zero's units.
And now, you know, with this big army that can go for a fight, it's like, where do you even attack into? You know, there's too many lurkers back in the natural. You will never get up the ramp unless you can irradiate those lurkers there. You know, 3 is the number that you can practically be maxed out and probably not get up there.
On an attack move, you won't get up.
Hold position lurkers.
Doesn't get lucky this time with it. FORGG moving out the other direction. But FORGG, he's got a lot of Raxes right now. He is up into his Science Vessel tech. So his supply is going to continue to grow. He's going to keep the pressure on. But you don't have a lot of options to do real damage here. As long as Zero sits behind his lurkers and continues to make the lurkers, your irradiate count won't catch up with the lurker count by the time there's Defilers out. So that leaves you with, like, okay, do you want to go dropship play? Do you want to do mass expand?
2 dropships are going to come out. Now, this might be the moment that Zero could be broken, because Zerg is holding off so much with actually just so little. Oh, my God, he's so good. Is he going to catch this? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Zero not reacting fast enough. And both will get to unload, but with the Nidus out here, oh, wow, he's just going to just cram through these lurkers. And now he has to pick up and leave. Uh-oh.
Yeah, 3 lurkers stacked there. You can't even irradiate multiple ones at a time.
Yeah, in case you guys are confused by what Artosis was saying, it looks like it's 1 because he put them on top of each other, but yeah, it's actually 3, so there's no way. I remember when I first saw that trick, people just burrowing 1 lurker on top of the other.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is dirty.
Yeah. You wish they'd do that against you. Your Psystorm just hits everything it doesn't even irradiate.
Imagine it's just like, you know, 80 lurkers just all burrowed on top of each other, and like them 1 scan, and just see how much the stacked blood
would be crazy.
Yeah.
It'd be like a fountain in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 dropships this time. 6 dropships.
6 dropships, Artosis.
Yeah.
Now, when you go for that many dropships, you are in a lot of ways zoning yourself out of having any kind of healthy vessel game.
Well, you know, he's not going for another base. He went up to like 6 racks, 7 racks right away, which shows that this is what he's up to.
Now, sometimes this dropship play works, but if it doesn't, there's really no easy way to play the game from there on out. Oh, the dropship.
Well,
Peace.
Down goes 1. See what these other 4 can get done. Hey. Hey. That's empty.
Yeah, I don't see anything there. He could try to get lurkers back through there, but the Nidus is on the low ground, right? So,
yeah, hopefully he can get in here and surround some of these lurkers before the Dark Storm goes off.
Yeah, it seems like we're not getting any consumes just yet here. There's the Dark Swarm coming down.
That's okay. This is still a really good draw. He can get quite a few of the good tech buildings here.
And, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see all those lurkers actually there. I don't know if he's going to be able to break any of these positions.
I think he can break that as well. All right, he gets the Queen's Nest, the least impactful building in the game.
I think this has all but been cleaned up, right? I kind of can't see what's actually down here in the bottom right because of that little tab, but he's killing off the drop ships.
Oh, this is
not that they're able to do that much later on in the game here, but
definitely think that Zero's fine, but he did some damage there and got some of the important buildings. There's not going to be any more Defilers for a bit, but is he making vessels? Does he have enough irradiates to actually punish the fact that Defiler production is going to be halted? I don't think so.
Okay, again, we're going to have him try to come in here. If he gets 1 more Dark Swarm down here, then it's all going to come down to the irradiate. By the way, these mutas are becoming so handy in this game. And so another Science Vessel goes down. Remember, it was a big investment into drop ships by the Terran, and if you're getting drop ships, you're not getting vessels. And so to even lose 1 vessel is huge. Yeah. Normally in a game like this, we'd have 9 vessels or something like that roaming with this army.
By the way, we saw the minerals ballooned at 2K during all this, which is actually something somewhat common when you get up to these types of things. Like, drops are very micro-intensive, and when dark storms are going up everywhere and you're trying to radiate stuff, it gets very, very micro-intensive. So, a little bit painful.
By the way, guys, in case you're wondering why it matters to have a lot of vessels, since you only need one to see the lurkers underground, it's because it radiates so strong. Over time, if you keep those vessels alive, you can keep irradiating defilers, lurkers, mutalisks, ultralisks even. And you start to whittle down the Zerg. Eventually the Zerg is just bare bones nothing.
Yeah. You got to keep them alive, though. It's very important.
Okay, Ultras hatch. And if they could ever get over underneath that Dark Swarm, it would be good.
Oh, he does get the Nidus there. He really dived hard on it, lost some extra units. But a good pick-off. These Ultras not that strong as of yet. They don't have their speed. They only have 3 KO pace. That 4th base is really crucial, though.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to be able to survive this. FORGG is. The Zerg, now that the Ultras are out, the Zerg actually can take fights in ways that you really couldn't before. You had to have a certain skill and technique, you know, with Dark Swarm and getting lurkers in there and burrowing, but now I think this game may end up looking like what happened in Game 1 here. But hold on a second. He went across the map with the Ultras. I don't know what's actually at this natural.
Just enough lurkers that he's not going to really bust it right now. You know, he's got 2-2 upgrades. That's pretty good. If he has +3 on the way, that's really, really nice. Yeah, Zero definitely looks to be in charge, even though there's still some map control going on here for GG.
I don't know where FORGG can take this game. Oh, there's a Ling there.
Ling hidden behind the mini-map. Is that Ling in the bottom left or the top left?
Now we have, I think...
Look at those fire bats. Oh, God, those Lings were fried.
Yeah, it's crazy what one lurker positioned just right can actually do for you in this game. But, you know, with the failed attack here at the front of Zero's natural and the loss of the 3rd base back at home for FORGG, I just feel like we're getting closer and closer to this game ending.
He's definitely having a bit of a hard time right now. The 4th base not really mining as of yet. FORGG's put on some decent damage in various places, but look at the supply differential.
Yeah, no real threat here. At
Up 40 supply is like just unwinnable for Terran.
And you can be like a Terran that's got 170 supply to a 110 supply Zerg, and the Zerg still might win.
Yeah.
So the supplies are incredibly deceptive in StarCraft 1 when it comes to Zergs.
Yes.
Because you think, okay, Zerg's a swarmy race, so they should always have more in supply, but they never do. But they actually still have more than the other guy. It's very funny.
As long as Zerg stays above 70 supply when he's on Defiler tech, it can live for an astoundingly long amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, you can't break a 70 supply Zerg almost.
And so, we have the Marines being transferred down here. You ever think that lurkers kind of look like Freddy Krueger hands running around?
Yeah, absolutely. Very
like
hairy ones.
Yeah, hairy Freddy Krueger hands.
Yeah.
Now, the Marines are coming in here. They are being intercepted by those Lings. Again, what Terran needs is a win here on the map. This base, just like we had in Game 1, easily denied. It looks as though FORGG wants to, once again, I think this is the 4th time we've had this, attack into the natural. Is this going to be the time it actually works, though?
By the way, look at his awesome play. He puts all the valuable units through the Nidus so they can pop back out. He doesn't want them irradiated. See, there you go. They pop out when it's time for the engagement. Beautiful moves coming out of Zero. Zero looks poised to win this game at this point.
Yeah, I got to say, FORGG, it was a real treat casting him, but you can see that he's just... Zero's just so good at this matchup. He really knows how to actually just fight the Terran head-to-head.
FORGG continues to improve, though.
Yeah.
Like, he looks a lot better than KSL Season 3 already. Just earlier this year.
No, I think he's just going to continue to develop and blossom as a player here.
I think think so.
It's funny we're having these like little ultra timing attacks, these little counters. Now, by the way, everybody, if Terran wins one major fight, he could come in here and plow through either the upper right base or the bottom right base, and that might be a win here. But it just seems like Zerg has so much. I mean, when you get this number of Ultralisks, especially when you get flanks like this, everything just dies.
Oh yeah.
GG.
And that is that. It means Zero will go on to the final match in this group, which will be next Thursday. So 6 days from today, we'll see if Zero makes it into the round of 8. Unfortunately, though, FORGG is out. He's out of the tournament. Another Terran bites the dust.
Yeah, but
Sharp Russian FORGG already eliminated.
Zero, though, I'm very excited to see what this guy's going to bring here. We're not done for the night yet. We actually have one more best of 5, but it won't be for about 45 more minutes.
That's right. At least it's not an hour and 45 minutes like the TvZ series.
I think we had a lot more people join into the channel, but the format of this tournament is a little bit different. The next match will start at 9 p.m. KST. And for some perspective, it's 8:18 KST right now.
All right. It was a good series. I think that FORGG showed some cool stuff in there. Looking forward to seeing how he can do in the pro tournaments next year. Continues to practice his butt off.
We're going to be right back, guys. Light versus Yuck. Well, not right back. We're going to be back in 40 minutes.